very second. Reset your standards. Your life reflects your standards, not your goals, not your intentions, not what you say you want or what you hope to achieve. Your life is the direct result of what you have been willing to accept. What you tolerate becomes normal. What you allow becomes routine. What you excuse today becomes the baseline tomorrow. Every time you lower the bar, you teach yourself that the bar was never fixed. You teach yourself that standards are suggestions, not requirements. Discipline begins when excuses stop being acceptable. When the reasons you give yourself for not following through are no longer valid. When the circumstances that used to derail you are no longer allowed to. When you stop negotiating with yourself about what needs to be done. Look at where the bar was lowered, where effort became optional, where consistency became negotiable, where you started telling yourself that good enough was acceptable when you know it was not, where you stopped holding yourself to the standard you set and started making exceptions. Most people do not fail because they set their standards too high. They fail because they set them and then slowly allow them to erode. They start strong and then compromise. They claim they want excellence but settle for mediocrity because mediocrity is easier and no one is watching closely enough to notice. Standards are not promises. They are rules you live by. Promises can be broken. Standards cannot. A promise is what you tell someone else. A standard is what you demand from yourself, regardless of who is watching or whether anyone will know if you fall short. You do not rise to motivation. You fall to your standards. Motivation is temporary. Standards are permanent. Motivation gets you started. Standards keep you going when motivation fades. When the excitement of a new goal disappears, your standards are what remain. This reset is not about perfection. It is about honesty. It is about looking at what you have been accepting and deciding whether it aligns with who you claim to be. It is about closing the gap between what you say matters and what your actions prove matters. Decide what is no longer allowed. Late starts. The habit of beginning your day whenever you feel like it, instead of when you planned. The pattern of waiting until you are ready, instead of starting when you said you would. Half effort. The performance of work without the commitment to quality. The completion of tasks without caring whether they were done well. The minimum required instead of the best you can produce. Unfinished work. The project started and abandoned. The commitments made and ignored. The tasks left incomplete because something else seemed more interesting, or because finishing required more effort than you wanted to give. This is not punishment. It is alignment. This is bringing your behavior in line with your stated priorities. This is making your actions match your words. This is eliminating the distance between intention and execution. When standards rise, decisions become simple. There is less debate, less hesitation, less internal conflict about what should be done. The question is no longer whether you will do it. The question is simply how well you will execute. Standards remove the question mark. They eliminate the negotiation. They end the conversation you have with yourself every time a decision needs to be made. When your standards are clear, your choices become automatic. You either meet the standard or you do not. There is no gray area. There is no partial credit. There is no exception because today was harder than usual. The standard does not change based on how you feel. This is where discipline lives, not in motivation, not in inspiration. In the unwavering commitment to a standard that does not move regardless of circumstance. in the refusal to lower the bar because raising yourself to meet it feels difficult. Your standards define you more than your goals ever will. Goals are what you want. Standards are what you demand. Goals can be adjusted when they become inconvenient. Standards hold regardless of convenience. Reset your standards, not to impossible levels, not to heights designed to make you feel inadequate, to the level that matches who you are trying to become, to the level that creates the life you claim to want. And then hold them, without negotiation, without exception, without compromise. Built in silence.